The Evermore podcast is now sponsored by WFST Total Compliance. WFST provides fire safety requirements UK-wide to prepare you and your employees should the worst happen. Do what you do best and visit wfst.co.uk today. Enjoy the episode. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the instant match reaction to Newcastle United 1, AC Milan 2 at St James's Park. Devastating. If ever you wanted a night to explain the highs and lows of the Champions League, this was the game tonight. I can't fault the lads for the effort, though. I'm going to have a little chat about the game. I'm obviously gutted, like most of you are gutted watching along. Everyone in the stadium will be gutted as well. I'm sure there's a few already drowning their sorrows with a pint, because it looked at one point like we were going to do it. It really did. And if we weren't going to do it, we were going to do the second best, which was the Europa League. And we've ended up with nothing, and we're out of Europe completely. But very different to the other United that played the other night. At least we made a fucking fist of it. But we'll get stuck right into it in a second. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you're new to the channel, just checking us out for the first time, smash subscribe, come and join us. We're over 6K. Loads of room for you guys here, all free content. If you do want to give a bit back, the channel is an option there for you too. But smash the button and come and be part of this great community. We are live tonight in the chat. We've already got quite a few of you gassing on, I think, in there. You're all gutted, I'm pretty sure, as well. A lot of you have been in just before that we came on live. Geordie's saying, we can't believe we're at slip. Yeah, we'll get stuck into that. 66 is saying possible blessing in disguise for the rest of the season. There is an option there. There is a theory on that, mate, which I'm sure I'll get stuck in to that one as well. But let's have a look how the lads lined up then, if you didn't see it already. Only one change, which was Callum Wilson coming in for the knackered Alexander Isak, which I think everybody kind of saw coming, really. But one interesting part of the lineup, which a lot of people had it made their mind up, that Sean Longstaff was coming in for Louis Miley. Even we said that. Now a huge fan of Louis Miley. We thought Sean was going to come in for Louis, but he didn't. Anyhow, stuck with Louis Miley. That's a huge vote of confidence if the lad even needed it, in what Eddie thinks about this kid's ability. And he didn't disappoint. I thought he was sensational in the first half. But that's how we lined up. It was great to see Big Dan Burn back on the bench as well, alongside Sean Longstaff and Isak as well. So starting to take a little bit more shape in terms of these players coming back into the squad. But today was just, I think, a little bit too late in terms of having that squad depth. But for me, just talking about the game, as a whole in the first half, war flags, sensational again. The message, the quote from Bobby in the crowd up, bouncing. I was looking at it, just thinking, I wish I was there. The flags waving, the atmosphere, the noise. Gordon was brilliant in that first half. Makes that challenge, I think, on 5 minutes, starts pumping the crowd up. Everyone's buzzing, everyone's bouncing. And just a sensational start really to the halfers. I think we were everywhere really in terms of all over them. They had bits of play as well, but really it was all Newcastle. We had chances. The first big chance that comes to Miggy, where the ball comes across from Trippier. Why in the name of Christ won't this kid use his right foot? Even when he's fucking 1 yard from goal, all he has to do is fall into the bastard and we would have been 1-0 up. And he still tries to use his left foot, which I don't understand whatsoever. He's the most one-footed player I've ever seen in my life. He did work hard tonight, Miggy. He did put some good challenges in and stuff like that as well. But the fact that you're not even going to use your right foot when you're a yard from goal, mate, to put us 1-0 up, I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it at all. But we were 1-0 up. We were 1-0 up through a sensational goal from Joelinton on 33 minutes. Beautiful passage of play as well. Again, it come from the brilliant Anthony Gordon, who was so bright, he was so lively in that first half. I think losing him in the second half really did kill us. It did kill our momentum as well as Trippier. Trippier was great as well tonight. Again, no signs of the mistakes like there was in the Everton Spurs games. He looked up for this, bang up for this, but he just burnt out. as did Gordon. But on the goal, Gordon cuts inside. Livramento on the overlap. Livramento was fantastic again in that left-back berth. Gareth Southgate was in the crowd. Apparently, if you're not looking at Tino Livramento as your left back in your New England squad, you need your fucking eyes checked, mate, because you don't have a left back. You're playing our right back as your left back. Tino Livramento should walk into that England squad. But anyway, Gordon cuts inside, passes the ball through. I think Joelinton gets it first, and then he passes it to Louis Miley, or maybe even Gordon passes it straight to Louis Miley. This kid, 17 years old, this kid, to have the calmness and presence of mind just to have a little fake assist, and tap it back over to Joelinton, who then flicks it up and unleashes a complete thunder twat of a strike from, the 10th level of hell for any goalkeeper, just straight into the top corner. He rips the net out. Absolutely fucking sensational. I think Joelinton even surprised himself because he didn't even know how to celebrate, to be honest with you. I think Wilson was celebrating more than Joelinton was. But an absolutely brilliant goal. Great move by Newcastle. Free-flowing football. Pace, quality, and like I say, 17-year-old Louis Miley. He then becomes the youngest ever player to assist a goal in the Champions League. I mean, he's the third youngest player to appear in the Champions League alongside Foden and Bellingham in terms of British players. He's now the youngest assist maker in the Champions League. This kid has played 7 games or something. He's got more assists than fucking Bruno Fernandes has at Old Trafford this season. This kid is a fantastic footballer, and he's going all the way with Newcastle United. I cannot wait to see how this kid develops. We're out of Europe now, which is gotten for the lads, so it's not an experience for him, but concentrating on Premier League and stuff. We'll get into that in a second. But Louis Miley, what a player, man. Absolutely fucking sensational. I just checked the stats there, 93% passing accuracy. I think he won 4 out of his 8 duels again. He's just a brilliant footballer. He really, really was. So then, we look like we're on top. We've got chances again. Mickey flashes one across, I think, to Wilson. Doesn't quite get a hold of it. And then the substitutions come in. Just checking when they actually went off there. So Trippier goes off on 63 minutes and Gordon goes off on 62. And Isak comes onto the left. And I just feel that kind of killed us a little bit in terms of that cover, that protection that we had on that left-hand side for Livramento. I feel like bringing on Isak didn't quite give us that level of protection for the fullbacks. Sean came on for Louis Miley on 71 minutes as well. Burn came on for Trippier. Love Burn to bits, but he's just got no mobility. He looked fucked after about 8 minutes of being on the pitch, to be honest with you, in a game as quick-paced as that. Some of the Milan players as well, Rafael Leao started coming to the game. He got no change in the first half off Trippier, which is probably what burnt Trips out, to be honest with you. Trippier was dragging him back the other way, which he didn't want to do. Trippier goes off, he then starts to get a bit more room. Livramento stayed well with him, but he hits the post as well in the second half. Milan get back into the game. Sloppy goal really from us, I suppose the shape isn't quite there. We make a bit of a meal of it. Beautiful pass by Olivier Giroud, by the way. This guy's a brilliant footballer still. He's 37-year-old and handsome bastard. Still looks like a male model, doesn't he? But what a fantastic player he is. We're all talking about wanting this centre forward in January to be another centre forward in the squad. A player like Giroud would be sensational for Newcastle. That touch, that pass. He did one as well, I think, in the first half where he just flicked it off around the corner and then he moved and started a break for AC Milan. And it was a beautiful pass, and Pulisic is in space and he puts it away, and it's ones each. And, we were struggling, I think, when it went to 1-1, we lost our shape a bit. And we just looked rattled. We weren't as calm on the ball. Louis comes off for Longstaff. Longstaff's got energy for days, but he hasn't got that composure on the ball that Louis has. And I think that did unsettle the midfield a little bit. Bruno was hanging on the ball a little bit too much. Joelinton as well. Joelinton was my man of the match, to be fair. Joelinton was class all game, to be fair, but he lost the ball a little bit. Bruno lost the ball a lot more than Joelinton. But to be fair, the goalkeeper as well, Mike Magnan? What a fucking save from Bruno Guimaraes in the second half. That beautiful curled effort looked destined for the back of the net. He flicks onto the bar. These kind of games, these kind of moments, they cost you, And all the while, we went from being in the driving seat to being 1-0 up, Dortmund being 1-0 up, to Paris Saint-Germain equalising, and then we go behind 2-1, and then Paris Saint-Germain somehow bungle their way into the knockouts of the Champions League, and we end up being at the bottom of this group. Now, I'm just looking at a comment now. I've got a comment there from Dean. Just get a few comments, and I totally agree with you, Dean. Proudest punch. The lads gave everything. We will come back again. With everyone back, we'll make a great run in the Champions League. Who are the lads? I don't disagree, mate. I'm so proud of these lads. I'm not going to come in here and start having a go at them. And I'm a few you pissed off in the comments. I can see that. But for me, these lads gave everything. You know, a lot of the lads that are playing in this team have been playing for the past 5 or 6 games on the spin with little to no substitutes. And they're burnt out. They're absolutely fucked. Gordon and Trippier gave everything for that first hour. Anthony Gordon's normally the Duracell bunny, but he was burnt out. He had to come off. I think if Gordon hadn't come off, I think he would have had enough to get in behind him and possibly create a second goal for us before we even get the equaliser. But, it is what it is. AC Milan are, 7 times champions or whatever this competition. They're very experienced. They've got some very good players still, in terms of, Rafael Leao, Giroud. Pulisic is still a decent player, even though he went off the rails a little bit at Chelsea. Loftus-Cheek's a lot better than we thought he was. Theo Hernandez. They've got some good players. So there's no shame in losing that game. I just felt that we totally ran out of steam, really. It was just one of them games in the end. It was quite disappointing. Michael saying he was gutted. We can't concentrate on domestic competitions, or sure we can, beg your pardon. We've come a long way in less than 2 years, 100%, mate. I agree with that. What a first half performance was brilliant. I think that's what it is, Michael. The first half was just absolutely phenomenal. And that was, I think we almost just peaked in that first half. And then when the equaliser goes in, it just knocked the stuffing out of us. I think the crowd got nervous, the noise turned down, and you can't blame them, because they're thinking, oh shit, what's going on? They're all looking at their phones. I mean, how are they getting the signals in James's Park, by the way? My network provider must be shit, because I could never get a signal when I'm in there. I'm just like a lead bunker. But, we're all looking at the phones, we're all checking the scores. Mark's texting me every 2 seconds about what's going on in the other game. I was totally concentrating on our game. But, that would have filtered through the pitch, I'm sure, as well, maybe unsettled a few players. But I think the lads put in a really good performance. I can't really dig any single one of them out and say that they had a bad game. Jamal Lascelles, I suppose on the Pulisic goal, you can maybe say he should go and close Lau down a bit quicker. And the second goal, Fabian Schär gets caught. He goes for one of his mazy wonders. But listen, that's what Fabian Schär can do. On another day, he could have dropped a shoulder and rifled at the top corner and put us 2-1 up in front. We would be in the Europa League right now. We'd all be bouncing saying he's the best centre half in the world. But it is one of them things, but you get caught in those games. They hit the post a couple of times. Tomori, shout out for him. He started the game with a complete fucking howler that nearly looped into his own goal. But then after that, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I thought we're talking about maybe signing defenders for the future for Fabian Schär replacements. For me, I think Tomori is a very good option on that list. I thought him and Wilson had a real good battle. Wilson did well, some good centre forward build-up play, held the ball up well, made it stick. Knocking the ball wide, bringing others into play. I think Wilson did a good job tonight. I really do. I don't think that he let anybody down, in all fairness. We've got a comment there from, is that Mambo Jumbo? Liverpool fan here, takes pedigree to get far in this competition. Keep going and things will change. Thank you very much, Mambo. One of the good Liverpool fans. Not many of them I've seen, mate, to be fair. We've got another one from Geordie just saying that things that kills so much as Dortmund done us a favour. They did. Did anyone see that clearance from Mbappe's shot, by the way, by the Dortmund defender? That was absolutely fucking sensational. It really, really was. Vincent saying we can't afford to carry players in big games. It's not a bad assessment, really, Vincent. There is some players in those games. We'll get your comment in a minute, Sean. There is some players in those games. Again, you're looking at Miggy. For all of his work rate, for all of his, his endeavour, tracking back, getting challenges in, which he did, which were really, really good. In the key moments, he doesn't do it. He doesn't finish. He's not composed enough. He hasn't got the quality. So many times yet again, he ignored Louis Miley's run, cuts it back, looking for Trippier, cuts it back, looking for Bruno, gets scouted, gets dispossessed. Louis Miley, every time he made that run, when the pass did come to him, he generally whipped in a couple of really good crosses that the keeper flapped that. I think one, Wilson just got a toe in and went behind for a goal kick. The other one, the keeper, had to palm it over the top of the bar, I think. But Miggy ignored that run time after time. And again, he just, in these games, we need an upgrade on Miggy Almiron. I've said that before. And I'm not kicking the lads. I think they put a really good shift in. When this group first came out, I said, we'll get battered, we'll be bottom. I was quite defeatist about the whole thing. I was a bit livid that we ended up in this horrible group. I wanted Man United's group more than that. If we had Man United's group, we probably would have went through. But the lads have not disgraced themselves. That they totally showed up, and we should be proud of every single performance they put in. We got screwed over in Paris. That should have been another 3 points in the group. But it is what it is. We'll be better for this experience, and some of these players, Louis Miley in particular, will be better for this experience. As Sean says there, they gave their all today. Miley is exceptional. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely phenomenal footballer. 17 years old is amazing. Proud of the team. We'll come back stronger and better next season. Away the lads. Well said, mate. Well said. And I mean, again, like I say there, we can concentrate now on the league. We're still in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup as well against Chelsea, who look beatable. We beat them quite easily. We've got players coming back as well. You can see Longstaff's back, Burns back, Wilson's back. Harvey Barnes is supposed to be coming back soon as well. Botman's supposed to be close as well. So we're getting a lot of the big name players back, and we're not in Europe anymore. So we don't have that extra glut of games to test the squad. Maybe come January, we don't need as many additions. Now we're not in Europe anymore because we haven't got that to worry about as well. So, the financial fair play and stuff like that as well. That could really help us as well, to be fair. So for me, I think I'm not disappointed. I'm gutted. I'm gutted in terms of going out of Europe because I think the lads deserve more. I really do. But I just think that we should be proud of the shift that they put in. Nobody give us a sniff in this group whatsoever. And for me, I just think that, I think that for me, the lads have showed up and the lads have made us all proud. Tom saying, Dan Burn yet no hole. EH doesn't want him. Why? I don't know, Tom. I don't know whether he doesn't want him or not, mate, to be honest with you. But maybe he just thinks defensively he's a bit lapsed, and he is, to be fair. But he's 18. He's got a lot to learn, and he will learn. I think he will learn, absolutely. A comment there from Jeffrey Wilson. So the lads gave the door. Unlucky, we'll be back. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, we will be back. We will be back. Proud of the lad, says Ian. Absolutely gave everything apart from Isaac. Just unlucky. Isaac did look incredibly lethargic. I must be honest with you. He's not fit. He's not fit at all. But I can see why they brought him on just in case he did something. A couple of times he did cut inside. He did whip it, and he came really, really close. And another day they go in the top corner, and Isaac's the best thing since sliced bread. Good to see you in the comments, Ian. I hope you're well, buddy. Miley was a class. He was, mate, honestly. Even the commentators were waxing lyrically about Louis Miley, or Lewis Miley, as they keep calling him. I really do think that Eddie Howe has to come out and tell the media, is it Lewis or is it Louis? Eddie Howe calls him Louis, so I call him Louis. I heard Graham Jones call him Louis in the training video the other day. So for me, it's Louis Miley. So I really do think we need to tell the media this, because this kid's name is getting mentioned all of the time. Got a comment there from Michael saying, to be honest, he's not bothered by this. It's early days for us in the CL. Let's concentrate on the PL and worry about the CL next season. Yeah, that is a school of thought, Michael, to be honest with you, mate. It is a school of thought that people aren't going to be as upset about this, maybe, as you would have thought. I mean, you can be gutted that you're out of Europe because of the experience and the big games. And we haven't disgraced ourselves, no way, shape or form. Listen, we battered PSG 4-1 at home. We should have beat them in the Parc des Princes with a fantastic performance. We got a great 0-0 draw at the San Siro. And Dortmund's experience and quality just took us away in terms of them two games. And tonight, a depleted side with tired legs, left gaps at the back, didn't take their chances. And that's what cost them at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So that you can say the same thing about experienced Champions League teams that they go out. Barcelona, Real Madrid over the years, Bayern Munich, all these teams. Manchester United, a prime example. Manchester United are fucking Champions League, royalty, and they've been shit in their competition. As a Newcastle United fan, I'm way prouder of my team's performance in the Champions League. The team that was the plucky little team that shouldn't have been there is putting a much better performance than the great Manchester United. That's for damn sure. So, I think we will be back soon. Hopefully next season, if we can concentrate on the league now. Review everything, saying too many weak links. I mean, there is an element here, and I think this is a bit of a reality check. I think for some of the players in this squad, and I said this after my rant about the Spurs game, really, and I think for me, there's certain players in this team that have done a great job for Newcastle United over the years, and we can't do anything but thank them for that job. A lot of these guys have got us out of the Championship into the Premier League. They've given blood, sweat, and tears for this football club, but they don't have the quality to stay with the club where we want to go. And there comes a time in every club where you just say, do you know what? It's time to move on. We've got Billy in the comments there, and he's bang on about Almiron. We're past running around with a smile now, and it sounds really harsh. Cheers to the comment, Billy. It sounds really harsh, but Miggy should be an impact substitute. So when Milan's got tired legs, we should be bringing Miggy off the bench, and we should be subbing off a much better player. I'm not saying this player in particular, but like a quality of someone like a Chiesa, that was available in the summer from Juventus. That kind of a player, he should be on the pitch for us with those key moments when the ball flashes across the box. He's putting it away, or he's at least testing the keeper. He's not fluffing it or refusing to go with his with his wrong leg. Another comment from Billy there. So hopefully our league form gets a bounce back with the lads more hungry for European football. I think it will do, Billy. Absolutely. Sean is saying second half we needed a proper number 6. This is the thing, Sean. Deep squads, big squads that are geared up to deal with Champions League football and things like that. They have those players, and you make those tactical changes in games. There's so many games last season where we didn't have that 6. The City game, the 3-3, I was at that game. The Liverpool game. These games scream out you needing a 6 for that. Just to sit in front of that back four, just screen it, just be safe, nice and simple. Keep it simple. Pass it out wide, absorb it, pass it back to keep it, take the pressure off, whatever it is. We don't have that player, and because of that, we do invite pressure on ourselves, and sometimes we buckle, like tonight, and I think you're right, mate. I really, really do. Mad Mag saying baby steps, Carabao Cup incoming away, the lads. We've got a good chance for it, mate. Absolute good chance for it, Mad Mag. James is saying Man United and Newcastle both finished bottom. But the way they did it was completely different. Yeah, that's what I was saying, mate. Well said. We were competing in every game. They were a disgrace. They were, mate. They were absolutely appalling. And, if I was a Man United fan, thankfully I am not. I would be livid at their performance, but certainly not at our performance, because we were absolutely class. As Peter says there, Miley's a great prospect. I don't even think he's a prospect now, Peter. I just think he's a great player. The only criticism of his game, if I was being uber critical, is he slightly lacks pace, doesn't he? But he's got the thinking, he's got the brain. So maybe these forward bursting runs in the box isn't quite his game. He should be the one slipping people in, but they need to find him more with a pass. Even at times tonight again, Trippier didn't find him. He always shows for a pass. There's Louis Miley, and at 17, it takes so much bravery to do that, man. Just what a player. I really do think this kid is going to be something fucking special for us. I really do. I'm not even asked about Sandro Tonali anymore. I'm done with the whole Sandro Tonali thing. Like I said, I've got my opinion on the deal. I think it was a load of shite. I think Milan knew exactly what they were doing, and I don't think Tonali will play for Newcastle again. I really don't. And if Louis Miley keeps playing the way he does, Sandro Tonali can carry his fucking boots to the training pitch. Chris is saying it's a shame, but what can we expect when we're down at bare bones? We move on. Absolutely, mate. We are riddled with injuries. Absolutely riddled with injuries. So it's something that I think we all have to bear in mind. We've got Tony Timebridge MBE. Nice to see you, mate. New name. Smash subscribe if you fancy hang around, Tony. I think we need a 6 to sit behind Bruno. I agree with that, mate. We are so open and airy in the pitch often. Do you know what it is with Bruno as well, Tony's? I think he gets a taste for it, doesn't he? Like tonight, where he goes wandering, he's on the edge of that box, and you see what he's capable of that shot. I mean, not many keepers are going to pull off that save. That was a sensational save by the Milan keeper. You've got to give him his respect for that. Any other day that goes in the back of net, Bruno's the hero of the night. But because he's getting sucked back in as well, he's burning out. He's looking fucked. He's blowing. You can see the air coming out on a cold night. And I think if we had that 6, people talking about Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips, when fit, is a really good 6. He could sit there and he could protect that back four. He could let Bruno and Joelinton get further up the park and be a lot more of a threat moving forward. And even Louis Miley, if he's coming in for one of those two, possibly as well, in an interchangeable midfield. But yeah, I do think the 6 is massively needed, mate, 100%. Philip is saying that Longstaff and Burnwood are awful. They're not fit, I think is the thing, Phil. They've been big players for us last season, especially when we needed it. But I just think that you're right, mate. You are right. I think that there comes a time where these players aren't going to give you what you want. But this is when you have to upgrade the squad. I think now we've had a taste for European football, and if we qualify for Champions League next season, I really do think that they're going to have to go big, and they're going to have to go and get some proper players into this squad, quality players, and increase the quality of that first 16. Sean is saying they gave their all today. Miley's exceptional. Yeah, we should be proud. Absolutely, mate. I think I've already done that comment, Sean. I'm just trying to catch up here. Sorry, mate. Scrolling down. I'm going to have a big scroll. Here we go. We've got Ty in the house. He's hit me with his stats. Louis Miley's first half numbers: 95% passing accuracy, 27 touches, 19 passes completed, 3 to 5. Ground duels 1. Yeah, fantastic performance by him, mate. Absolutely fantastic performance. He was great. He started to blow a little bit, I think, Ty, as well, towards the second half. I thought he was because he's had a lot of football for such a young lad as well. You know what I mean? And it's really, really difficult, even at that young age, to keep putting those performances in. But I thought he was sensational. I really, really do. Brainwash Maniac is saying it was the hardest group in the CL. Absolutely. We're on the right way. Focus on getting players fit. Take on the Carabao. Wipe the Mackhams out the FA Cup. That is a sweet turnaround from tonight, mate. 100%. Well said. Well said. David's saying, just feels like we lose every big game. Just too hard to compete at this level after years of actually killing our FFP. Still relying on former championship players catching us up. Yeah, I mean, the FFP is an issue. Because he was non-profitable. Was Ashley. He's only interested in lining his own pocket, because that is going to take us a few years to probably get to that level. But we qualified for the Champions League way earlier than we should have done. But we haven't disgraced ourselves, guys. We're putting a really good shift, and we should be proud of the lads. And I just think in the summer, it could be a big summer for Newcastle United. I really think it could be a summer where we invest in some real quality going forward. So I just think, let's watch out and see what happens in January for starters. There maybe be 2 or 3, possibly even some Saudi loans. And then in the summer, there'll be some big moves as well. Tim is saying he's proud of the effort, left it all on the pitch, move on, make sure we're back in Europe next season. That well said, mate. Couldn't agree more, Tim. Couldn't agree more, mate. I think the lads are putting a great stint, I think, tonight, to be fair. And you've got to say, as Frank says there, the lads can hold their head up high after the European March this season. Like, absolutely, mate. There's nothing to be disgraced for. Dynamics is saying we play to win, not to draw. We do play to win. Manchester United didn't do that. Manchester United didn't play to win. They looked fucking dreadful, I thought. They really did. I totally concur with you, man, Cloud. I fucking love Newcastle as well, mate. Absolutely superb. We've got Ronaldson. It was that Lewis isn't named by Dick parents like Louis Howard. But Eddie Howe says Louis, mate, so it must be Louis. It must be Louis, mate. Come on, he's only a young lad. He'll have new age parents. Do you know what I mean? Scrolling down the list, guys, trying to just keep up with all these mint comments that we've got. We've got A. Gill saying, how are the lads? Ooh, Ronald saying Dubravka is shit. Didn't have much to do tonight, Ronald, to be fair, so I can't really be too harsh on him, but a new goalkeeper would definitely be on top of my list, 100%. We've got a comment there from Lazva H. So because us and Manu are out, does that mean there's no 5th place? I do believe that's the case, actually, Lazva. I don't know if that'll be confirmed. Mark is the stat man, so no doubt he will be scrolling away looking for the facts on that for what's going on Monday. But it could very well be the case, mate. So there might not be any 5th Champions League spaces, just the top 4. So that'll change the league dynamic as well, won't it? Comment there from Steve McGarry saying, we aren't finishing the CL unless we get a better midfielder than Bruno and stop pretending Trippier is great. Ooh, Stephen is not a happy camper. To be fair, though, I think Trippier is a fantastic player, and he's been sensational. Statistically, he's probably the best right back on the planet right now. But he's just knackered, mate. He's 33 years old, and I do think against Fulham, he's suspended anyway. He was hooked after an hour at night. Maybe give him a time to rest up and see how he gets on. We'll have Tino right back, maybe Burn or Hall possibly left back against Fulham. Might see some other changes coming in as well. But, now we are out of Europe. I think it takes a lot of pressure off this squad and helps us get the other lads back as well. Thank you very much, Deno. Really appreciate that comment, mate. You're enjoying the show. What else have we got here? Mark is in the comments saying, I think if an English team wins a European Cup, then Fifth is still on, but he needs to look into that more. He's doing his digging. I suppose you're looking at City, aren't you, really, then, for that, in all fairness. John is in the comments saying, by God, we should have spent the 55 million on the wrong Milan player. Their keeper is class. He was a bit of a whiny bitch, though, wasn't he? To be fair, though, he didn't like getting challenged. But I'd rather spend the money on Tomori. I thought he was a really, really good player. Billy's back in the comments saying we were leggy after an hour. We were. I just think it's fatigue, Billy. And this team's been ran ragged, and just there's not enough squad depth in it, and that's why these lads are burnt out. Even young Louis Miley at 17 looks fucked. I wish Eddie trusted 2 or 3 fringe players over last week. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe even our youth players if needed. I think the academy is just not good enough. I don't think you trust them to put a shift in the Premiership. The Louis Miley's the exception, because I think Louis Miley is always been touted as this fantastic prospect coming through the academy, but like Elliot Anderson was and Adam Armstrong in the years before him. But there's only ever 1 or 2. There's never 3 or 4. You see, Villa always produced a lot of good young players. Liverpool have got a good academy. Southampton have always been really good at West Ham. City, over years have been doing it. But City's academy was piss poor when they kind of went in. They had that little burst when they had Mika Richards and Stephen Ireland and so Michael Johnson, I think, as well, and Nathan Manure, I think it was. But outside of that, they didn't have anybody. So it took them years to get these really good systems in place for their academy. And Newcastle will get there. We've signed a lot of decent young prospects. So maybe in the next 5 or 6 years, we might see the bench full with some young players, especially for FFP, which I think will help us in the long run. But I think going forward, we are going to have to spend on some quality first team squad players. If it's not going to be in the 11, it's going to be in the 14 or 15. I really do think. And there's players that need upgraded. Absolutely, players need to be upgraded. We're coming there from Fred. He's put it on about 4 times. I'm going to read it, Fred. Have you seen 17-year-old May Kami could destroy one's football? Oh, okay, mate. I'm not sure if that's a joke or not. I'm not entirely sure. I'm too tired to even think about it. What we've got here, just scrolling down more comments. Yep, I agree. Tonali won't play for us again. Bet you. I agree with you, Mark. Yep, I think he'll go back to Serie A on loan and he'll never come back. Miley lacks pace and a good cross, but he is class and he will improve. I don't think he's going to be a pacey player, Tom. I think he's going to be one of those players that is more clever with the brain than he is with the legs. And fair play if he is, but you've got to play it with strength, haven't you? In all fairness, and I do think the kid's a smashing player. I mean, to come in and play like that, for 17 years old, and the games he's played. If you look at the games he's played, Paris Saint-Germain away, Manchester United, Chelsea at home, Spurs away, Milan at home. Bournemouth in there as well, which I know the team was shit, but he did all right. The games that he's played, big games, and 17-year-olds can go missing games again. Not Louis Miley at all. He's really stood out. So I'm really excited about what this kid can do. And Eddie's no mug. I think Eddie will know what a player's got in his hand. John says Byrne was stuck in cement for the second. I think he's often stuck in cement, John, to be honest. I love Byrne, but Byrne has his limitations, as does Lascelles. He was a bit better tonight, I thought. Lascelles had some lovely passes. I think he sprayed a beautiful pass over to was it Joelinton, I think, in the second half when we were chasing the game. It was unbelievable. I thought it was Sven Botman for a minute. I had to double check. But yeah, Lascelles has got his limitations. Byrne's got his limitations. Miggy's got his limitations. So all of these players, I think, should be subject for upgrades in the summer. I think we said that about a lot of them last summer. And I think the lads were given the chance to continue the good work that they did last season. But I think the kind of under the microscope, they've been shown to be seen the deficiencies, and I think we will see some upgrades coming in. Jimmy No Mate saying form is what we need, the momentum, the rest will come. Don't disagree with that, mate. It has been a tough few weeks, months, I think, for Newcastle as well. Some great performances in there as well, to be fair. What we've got here, Dean is saying that the ref was great. I thought the ref was good tonight, Dean. He let everything go, didn't he, in all fairness? Somebody buy Mickey a right foot for Christmas. Absolutely. Just don't order it off Very or something. They'll put it in your neighbour's bin and you'll never see it. Agent Tech Streams, Miley is great. No negativity. 17. Yeah, I agree with that, mate. I don't think anyone's being negative about Louis because he's just that good. I just think it's maybe just the frustration that people have about being out. Channel Right is saying we should be proud. We got so close. Paris debacle didn't help us. Yeah, I mean, nobody gave us a sniff, as I say, when the group was announced. So for me, I think we've absolutely battered it in terms of how we performed. So I'm just blocking some sad loser fans there who want to come on and give us jip, who couldn't even sniff Champions League. So just getting rid of them in the background there while Mark's doing his tea or his dishes or whatever. What we've got here, Dynamics is saying clubs like Barcelona, Liverpool don't try and sign Bruno for nothing. Exactly. Bruno is a good player. We know Bruno's a good player, mate. I just think we need to get the best out of him. I think that the six is the best way to get the best out of Bruno. I think, if we sign that 6 and he sits in there and Bruno goes up, I think for me that is going to get the best out of Bruno. Cushy, sorry, mate. Cushy is saying, hit the likes, everyone, only 13 likes so far. Yes, if you all could, guys, there was about 160 of you in there a minute ago. So if you could all smash the like, that would really help get us forward. Just check what else you guys have got to say. Keith is saying Fulham is going to be a tough game to get anything from. Fulham have picked up a lot, actually, Keith, to be fair. They're playing some great stuff. That goal by Harry Wilson today was an absolute fucking cracker, in all fairness. Just, I like him. He's a good player. Dai's obviously a big friend of our channel. Loves Welsh football. Very, the fountain of all knowledge in terms of Welsh football, and he's a big fan of Harry Wilson. He says he can be frustrated at times. If that kid gets consistency, he could be a really, really dangerous player, in all fairness. What else have we got here? Yeah, we've got another comment from C. More 04. Yes, we give everything, but Miggy would drive you nuts. Just fucking toe poking me a right foot. He's a headless chicken running with the ball, no end product ever. I think Miggy's starting to frustrate a lot of people, I think, isn't he, mate? And like I said, he works so hard, but he is lacking in these big games. You maybe get away with it in some of the Premier League games, but not in big Champions League games like this. Andy H is saying this was always about the experience. I'm a really proud Geordie United. Well said, Andy, mate. Well said. I think we should all be proud of these lads, because I just think that they've give everything. And a lot of them have played way above the levels really in the Champions League. The Jacob Murphys and Miggy against PSG as well. Lascelles coming in for Botman have had a lot of good performances. We can't be too judgmental on the lads. But if we get back to the Champions League next season, which I think is going to be a challenge, because the way I see it, I don't think City win the league. I think they've lost too many games. I know they're a machine, but I think it's going to be top three of probably Arsenal, Liverpool, City at third. Then the fourth place is between Villa, us, Spurs, and Manchester United, and that is a tough competition. That Manchester United could self-implode. Obviously, got the new owner coming in January. Could want a new manager. Could get a good manager. Could sign some good players. You don't know what's going to happen there. Villa are playing really well, but they're 2 or 3 injuries away from maybe dropping off. Spurs, we've got Maddison coming back. And everybody else, they could then get back on a run. So it's going to be a real challenge for Newcastle to finish in the top 4. January is an important window. I do think we need bodies. We really do need bodies and quality as well if we want to push on and try and go for that top 4 space. And then if we get those players, we can get players on loan, we can get players on loan to buy like Calvin Phillips, maybe a goalkeeper in as well. Talk about David De Gea, or the video we did earlier on as well about Mamagashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper, who looks a really good prospect as well, 23 for 20 million quid. You can get players like that in. The FFP can be well balanced. So, this could be a good window for Newcastle to pick up some real key players to that squad. And then come the summer, we'll go big. And if we're in the Champions League, maybe get a couple of big names in through the door. But going out of the competition, going out of Europa again, will cost us a lot of money financially as well, which is going to be a bit of a pill to swallow. Yeah, I agree with Andy. I thought Joelinton was magnificent tonight. Beast. He was my man of the match. I mean, the goal itself was just fucking sensational, really. But I just think it was a really, really good Joelinton performance. It really, really was. But people talking about Mourinho in the comments there. I don't have any thoughts on the Mourinho thing, guys. I just think that Mourinho's done. I think I love Mourinho back in the day, but yeah, for me, I just don't think Mourinho at Newcastle's got any weight behind it whatsoever. I just think it's just media talk. It's an easy link as well. It's lazy journalism, in all fairness. So. It's just, it is what it is. Got a comment there from Alex Turkish Tunes saying Steve says Bruno's playing shy, trying to get his fucking glasses replaced. Bruno just look. I don't know if Steve's on a wind up, Alex. So I wouldn't get too upset about it. Bruno was good tonight for a lot of moments, good tackles, good passes, some lovely switches out to Trippier. But I just think, for me, I just think the legs, again, the tiredness catches up on them. Milan stepped up their performance. They're experienced in these kind of competitions, and they just showed it in the end. And we left the gaps wondering for the goals, and that was it. That happens, you get caught. Ian Toon Trader, good to see you, buddy. How good were we then, Chris? Proud as punch of the lads, and disagree with any criticism. We played our best as a team. We should be proud of being Mags. Yeah, I don't disagree. I just think we did put a good shift in, mate. And I'm not saying we didn't. I think the only issue, is just the fatigue is what it is. Comment there from is it Gattino? As a Juventus fan, he's very sad tonight. Support for Newcastle English Magpies. Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate that. And send us Chiesa over, mate, if you can. I'll pick them up from the airport. I'm only kidding, mate. But we're all black and white, aren't we, to be fair? So nice to see the love in the comments from the Juve supporters as well, mate. But yeah, we are pretty good in all fairness. Review everything saying Botman was one of the biggest misses. Yeah, absolutely. He only played one game. You're talking about one of the best centre-backs in Europe, really, and he was knackered for the whole campaign. It's a really good shout review. And Barnes played 0. And Barnes, people tend to forget as well, Harvey Barnes is a really good player. Scores goals, assists. If you not being funny, you put Harvey Barnes in Miggy's position tonight when he's a yard from goal. That's 1-0. That's 1-0. Harvey Barnes smashes that in the back and the subject. And I think Barnes is probably coming back at the right time, because Miggy's form has really dipped, and I think there's a good chance for Barnes to get his way into this 11 where he couldn't get in there at the start of the season. I'm thinking for myself, depending on who's fit, either Barnes on the left, Gordon on the right, Isak in the middle, or Wilson in the middle, or even the new centre forward who signed them in January in the middle. But I do think Barnes has got a good chance of getting into this team. I think if he gets in, I don't think Miggy will get back in. I think Miggy will struggle because he's too inconsistent. And I think that penny might have finally dropped with Eddie Howe after seeing some of these missed chances, not just tonight, Spurs as well, weak shots, shit shots, one-on-one, flapping, just making an arse of it. I think that, what's the word, that patience for Miggy has probably ran out with a lot of supporters. Good squad player. I'd keep him in the squad. I think bring him off the bench to run at tired legs on 60, 70 minute mark. I think he'd be a nightmare to deal with. But starting in the game and hanging your hat on him to do it for you, I just don't think that's an option anymore. I think we need to utilise the quality in the squad and then go and get some better players as well to come through. We've got Snaky Pickerson. At least we were not flipping on our best player anymore, lads. We'll go from strength. Yeah, true. I'm quite sure what that means, mate, but I kind of get the sentiment. Scrolling down, check the rest of your comments here, guys. What we've got here. Bear with us. I'm just going to go right down to the bottom. Here we go. Vincenzo. I think Miggy has stopped making those one-on-one chances for himself. Recently, he's been poor. I think Miggy stopped doing a lot of things, Vincenzo. I just, he's, unfortunately, again, another comment there from John as well. Any player with the right foot scores that chance. Even any player who's left footed scores that chance. He works hard, but he's not got the quality. All he's got to do is fall into it and toe poke him and 1-0 up. Do you know what I mean? I don't really understand. Why he's done that. You have to ask Miggy, I suppose. We'll never get a chance to ask him, I suppose. He probably just smile and nod, and then you go, "Oh, isn't he canny?" And you wouldn't want to give him any shit because he seems like a lovely bloke. Harry's in the comments saying, "Really proud. Miley looks classy." Really does, Harry, doesn't he? Go into the Fulham game. I'll try and make as much noise as I can. Good for you, Harry. I'm sure you will, buddy. I'm sure you will. The noise was good tonight. I thought the fans were good. They sang along. I think they naturally got nervous when the game was drifting away from them. That's really natural for football fans. Don't think you can be too hard on the supporters there, but for me, like I said, it's just it's disappointing. But I think the legs have just gone in the end. So George is saying that we still needed striker, centre back, right wing, and DM or a goalkeeper. It's a lot of players, isn't it? A lot of players. SLC in midfield vanished last 15. Bruno's got to take responsibility as the leader in there. It's not. I mean, Bruno isn't exempt from criticism. I think Steve's saying in the comments. About Bruno here as well. He's saying, how can you complain about Miggy more than Bruno? No, I mean, Bruno, I think the problem is with Bruno and Miggy. Miggy's more visible, I think, Steve, because in those moments, in those key moments, one-on-ones, the chances is there to get a goal, and Miggy fluffs his lines in front of the whole audience. Whereas with Bruno, it's the build-up play. Unless he gives it away and we concede a goal, it does disappear through the cracks a bit. But listen, I get frustrated with Bruno. I get frustrated when he overplays. I get frustrated when he tries Hollywood balls. He doesn't look for the simple pass. That's one thing that Louis Miley does very well. He uses the pass, simple pass, doesn't go stupid and do Hollywood balls. The ball's there and you can see him check for it. But he's quite often just knocking it, simple play. Whereas Bruno loves that Hollywood ball, loves to do the switches and everything else as well. Sometimes it puts you under pressure. Joelinton can lose the ball as well at times. So I have criticised both of those lads. A lot of people have them. But Bruno is that fulcrum in that midfield. He's the most quality player in there. He's the player that can make something out of nothing. We just need to get the best out of him like we did, when he first came and he was getting goals and he was influencing games the way he was. But our midfield is probably our strongest position. You got to think we're still missing Joe Willock. Joe Willock is such a miss as well. He gets us up the pitch. I mean, how would these games have been different if Joe Willock had been fit playing as well? Do you know what I mean? Just with his pace and his energy, his quality, his ability to get goals as well, his ability for assists. And if Isak had been fully sharp as well in these games and not injured and carrying knocks and limping around half the time, this whole campaign could have been completely different. But, I think for me, I just think we've given it our best shot. And I just think that our lack of squad depth has done us in the end. Too many injuries, too much fatigue, and also maybe just our lack of experience in this competition has done us in key moments as well. But overall, I'm really proud of the lads, to be fair. I'm massively proud of the lads, and I just think everyone should be proud of them. Everyone, Bruno, Miggy as well. I'm proud of Miggy, even though he frustrates me, but It's I just think he's that probably that one player that really needs to be upgraded on. Reviews say maybe Ward-Prowse is a player. Really, I'm a big fan of Ward-Prowse. I said that in the summer. We did a rumour has it on him review, and I thought he was mint. I think his quality from set pieces is absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational, and that's a great signing for West Ham. Yeah, it really, really is. Tonali was supposed to be able to take set pieces as well, but we all know how that ended up, didn't we? So, unfortunately, you live and learn, mate. You live and learn. But as Snakey says, yeah, we do miss Willock. Absolutely, 100% miss Willock. But yeah, I think moving forward, it's not the end of the world, guys. Moving forward, being out of Europe is disappointing, but we haven't disgraced ourselves. I don't think anybody will give us any shit. In the media, yes, you'll get a little wind-up fan merchants trying to give you shit and everything else. But for me, I just think the lads are putting a really good effort. I think they've showed, even though most of them have never played in this competition, bar a handful of them. I think that they've really showed that they've gave their all in the competition. They've had some good performances. They've put in some good shifts. And, I think the emergence of Louis Miley has been an exciting one as well in this campaign and in the Premier League. And that's something we can concentrate on. But we've still got the Carabao Cup, which I think we've got a really good chance of winning. Smash the Mackhams in the FA Cup, get the players fit, refocus on the Premier League, try and push for that top 4 position. January windows coming, maybe add another 2 or 3 or 4 players to improve the quality of that squad, send some of the deadwood out. And for me, I think that could potentially save this season. So all the disappointment we feel tonight could be completely eroded away if all those things come off. And you just don't know, do you? SL said we will win a domestic cup. I think we've got a really good chance this season, mate, 100%. We're saying here, I haven't seen a Bruno this good since Sasha Farrakhan. Nice one. But certainly not the one that plays in Manchester, mate. We've got the best Bruno, no doubt about that. And he is a class player, and he will come back. I think now we've taken away this big chunk of game time, I think, to all these players. We'll probably see a better performance from a lot of them because they won't be playing as much football. So I think that's a natural fact as well, to be fair. But listen, I think that's me all wrapped up then, guys. So it's disappointing tonight. But again, I'm not going to be too hard on the lads. I think for me, I think they put a great shift in, patched up side. Again, they should have won in France. That's still smart. We should have come at this with more points on the board. But tonight, it could have really went our way. It's just the crazy nature of the Champions League. Things can change with the drop of a hat, and that's exactly what happened tonight. So the lads can hold their head up high. Eddie, again, first campaign managing in the Champions League. He's done a fantastic job as a manager. You can't really fault Eddie too much. It's just been a bit of bad fortune and a bit of with injuries and and the penalty and all that kind of stuff as well. And for me, I just think that it's something to be proud of. Let's get back and concentrate on the domestic football, the cups, the league. Hopefully get to the top 4, and we'll be feeling much better towards the end of the season. But as I said at the start, guys, if you are new to the channel, you have to check us out tonight for the first time. Drop a like on the video too, help the channel grow. Smash a subscribe. It's all free content. If you fancy being a member, there is an option there as well. Give a little bit back. The channel helps us bring you this great content as well. We're still a baby very much in this whole world of fan-led media. We're only 2 years old on Friday, I think. So happy birthday to us on Friday. So send us a little cupcake emoji in the community chat. And we'll be back with a post-match on Saturday for Fulham as well. And also we'll be back for what's going on Monday night. So try and enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Don't be too downhearted about it. Be proud of the lads. They did us a fantastic job. Every single member of the squad to a man give the very, very best, and we can't ask for any more than that. So have a cracking night wherever you are, guys. We'll see you later. Take care.